Get ready to experience videos from all over the internet that's going to flip your perspective. You won't believe what happens next. These videos are game changers. Let's just start.
The Bible says in Romans 12:2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." Don't settle for the world's way. Don't let the noise around you dictate your decisions, your values, or your identity. Don't let the culture mold you into something you're not. You are called to more than just fitting in. Instead, be transformed. Be changed from the inside out. Let your mind be renewed by the truth of God's word, by His love and by His power. Be shaped not by the fleeting trends of this world, but by the eternal wisdom of the Creator. The more you renew your mind in Him, the more you begin to see life through His eyes. The more you align yourself with His will, the more you'll discover the plans He has for you. You will know what is good, what is pleasing, and what is perfect. When you live in His will, you walk in freedom. You walk with purpose. You walk with peace, knowing that every step is guided by the one who knows you better than anyone else.
True that.
So allow God to reshape your thinking, your desires, and your dreams. His will for your life is greater than anything the world has to offer. If you believe, type amen and share this with someone who needs to hear it today.
There's a reason I have camera covers. Your phone is a surveillance system. Apple literally runs an ad right now that says iPhone, it's privacy. It ain't no privacy. They're telling you that it's privacy, but it ain't privacy. We're literally spied on. You live in the Matrix. You see that Trump pays no taxes? He did it all legally. He literally said to Hillary, the reason I do what I do is why? Because you allow the rules to happen. So what you need to do is understand the rules of the game.
Another thing I learned from being around rich, successful people is this: go to dinner parties, plan dinner parties, invite your friends to your dinner parties. Tell them to invite their friends to your dinner parties. The more fucking people you surround yourself with that are aligned with what you want and have achieved what you want, the more people you will meet that are the same. And you get to eat and drink.
I just finished Elon Musk's book. He got to a point where there's so much failure and so much humiliation or learned experiences from it that he doesn't care anymore. And when you have that sense of freedom, you can go and push the envelope even further and further and further, because you think, what's the worst that could happen? I could fail. Okay, well, I already did that. So now what would happen if I did just a little bit more, or broke this boundary, or pushed the envelope just this little bit? Like, once you know you're not gonna die, it's almost better to know that you can go beyond failure and still survive.
Take your pulse. You're alive. You made it through that. But you said it, that one word you said, freedom. And I think that's what everyone craves, but they don't realize they can create it if they just become faithful, if they become fearless. And as soon as we become fearless, we become unlimited.
True
That's
that.
what freedom is.
Things to never tell a woman, part 2. First, never tell a woman how much money you make. Most of the time, that's not going to work in your favor. I'm sure whatever amount you make, she probably wants and hopes that you're making more. Number 2, don't ever tell a woman your insecurities. Don't tell her that you're scared of this, or you wish you had a better body, or you're insecure about your job and how much money. None of that, okay? That stuff is for mommy. That's not for your lover. Number 3, don't ever, ever, ever tell a woman, before I tell you, don't forget to follow here, because I got content coming out every day for you. Never tell a woman that she is your everything.
Huh.
A woman does not want to know that she is the only most important thing in your life. Intuitively, it seems like that's the case. However, she wants to know that you have a well-rounded life with other things going on.
Learn to use your good looks properly and do not waste your good looks. And what I mean by that is, if you're a good looking guy, from the time you're young, you've been told you should have bare girlfriends, you should be a gallus, you should have a lot of girls, you should this. Who's your girlfriend? How many girlfriends do you have? And I'm here to tell you that is an absolute waste
Of time.
and resource.
True that.
And here's what I mean by that. You see, if you're a good looking man, you have something that most men don't have. Now, no fire and pause in advance, but most men are not good looking. They're not. Most men have chipped out hairlines or receding hairlines. they're unhygienic, their facial features are doing the stanky leg. They are just in arrears, facially, yeah? Why do you think a lot of men rely on money and power to get women? Because their face ain't it. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're a good-looking man, you have a rarity. You have something different. You have something most men don't have. Why do you think growing up, bare man them used to try and bully the pretty boys or the good-looking? Used to say, oh,
Yeah, right.
pretty boy, he's this and that. Because they can't beat you when it comes to looks. So the only thing they can try and beat you with is violence. That's the only thing they've got over.
You can protect yourself by learning martial
You
arts.
have something most men don't have. Now I'll come to another point, yeah? If you've got looks now, why don't you use it to make money? Try and be a model. Try and be an actor.
Yeah, right.
You think Michael B. Jordan, Leo DiCaprio, or Brad Pitt would have been as famous and as massive as they are if they didn't look the way they did? You see what I'm saying? Even when it comes to athletics, do you think David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jack Grealish, Jude Bellingham would be as popular, would have all the brand deals, would have all the money that they're making if they didn't look the way they did? Brother, Luis Suarez was a bad boy football player. I never see him get no brand deals. Cause he ain't have it. You understand?
Yeah, right.
And it's simple as that. Why waste your rarity? Why waste what's not common on getting better?
Real facts, man.
You're better than that, bro. Think bigger than that. When you die, what are they gonna put on your headstone? My mum was a gallus, you know. You got bare girls, you know. Is that what they're gonna put on your grave? That you got bare girls? That's the most you can think of. That's the furthest your ambitions can go. Getting girls. Yeah, I got front. I get all the girls. That's the best you can do, bro. Don't, bro. Use your looks to make money. Use your looks to advance your family. Anything where branding or marketing is involved, anything where people will see you or people will fawn over you or people will appreciate you, you should get involved in, whether that's content creation, like I said, acting. If you're in sports, bro, try and get them brand deals ASAP. Do you understand? Pattern yourself, bro. Do not waste what you've got. Get in front. Leave that to the hooligans. You're better than that. Think bigger than that. You're civilized. Do you understand? Cavemen behave the way they do because that's the best that they know. You're not a caveman, my brother. You're a civilized man. You understand? So yeah, man. Use what you've got for something productive and I promise you it'll make sense. You waste money chasing all these girls or dealing with these girls. And even if you're not spending money on these girls, you're wasting time. Valuable and precious time that you could have used to make money and to establish yourself. So I depart with this. If you are a good-looking guy or a handsome guy, use that money for something that makes sense. And like I always say, make civilian life great again. Like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Take care. Link in the bio.
The experience of life has taught me is to never worry. No matter what, you're going to be fine. I think one of my biggest fears used to be like, what if I lose everything, right? And what if I have to go back to growing up in Detroit in the hood, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, well, I was happy there too. Like, I shouldn't be scared to lose any of this stuff because this stuff is conditional. And it's like, I'm gonna be good wherever I'm at. I remember when I talked to Sad Guru, I was like, where's your favorite place in the world? He's like, wherever I'm at. Yeah. And I was like, damn, you never have to worry. You could be fueled. You could let something inspire you to be greater. You could let something light a fire under you, but like, don't ever worry because you have what it takes to get to wherever you gotta get to.
Here's another free place you can go to surround yourself with rich, successful people. Go to the nicest hotel in your town. Even if you have to drive a little bit, go. Sit in the hotel lobby and bring your laptop and work for the whole day. They won't kick you out. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, whatever, grab a snack. Sit your ass in that lobby and work. Afterwards, go to the hotel bar, sit your ass at the bar, order a drink or a Coke, Diet Coke, whatever, hang out and mingle. Talk to the bartender. The bartenders always have the juice in these hotel lobbies.
It's like
True that.
big one that you notice with me off of porn as opposed to when I was watching.
Definitely you're agitated. Like when you're watching porn, you're more agitated with me. You're very like I'm speaking and you're quick. Like you're just like, all right, enough. Like you're very tense. You're very short with me, I guess. Like you don't I can't do anything right, basically.
This is also very common because from my personal experience, this happens because I'll just wait for that car to pass. It's incredibly loud. This happens because we're constantly thinking about the next time we're going to watch. So the fact that we're being withheld from it, or something is blocking us from watching it, you're that annoyance. You're that block. And an addict just wants to get back to the very thing that was giving him that dopamine release. So that's another big indicator when you're in a relationship. And when you're addicted, you may be unknowingly doing this to your partner, and that's going to cause tension. So it's something to be cognizant of.
People that want to win be in the house. Everything in the house is set up for winning. Reading books, working out, you know what I'm saying, going to sleep early, cooking their own food. Like, people that want to win is in the house, and when you in the house, you ain't got a lot of friends, so naturally. But winning is going to be lonely, man. And not only that, man, people going to hate you just because you doing something better, just because you got something better, just because you look like you got something better, whatever. They just think you're better. So they going to see they flaws, and so people just not going to like you because they don't want to do the stuff that they need to do to win.
5 things every woman notices about you first. 1, your grooming. Clean nails, hair, your fresh breath. It shows you take care of yourself. 2, your body language. If you stand tall, maintain a good posture, maintain eye contact. 3, your smile. 4, your style, your outfit. It says a lot about you. It shows your personality and effort. 5, your energy. Women notice your vibe. Whether you're positive, calm, nervous, the best attitude to have is to be relaxed and confident.
Inmates become pregnant one by one in a women's prison. When they decide to investigate and find out why, everyone is shocked. Dr. Beatrice stared at the ultrasound monitor with wide eyes. In more than 10 years as a doctor, she had seen many strange things, but this was completely unexpected. The image on the ultrasound screen was clear and unquestionable, and her mind desperately sought a logical explanation for what she was seeing. A deep silence filled the small room. Beatrice tried to disguise her expression of surprise and confusion as she wrote down some information on the patient's chart. When she was finally able to think of what to say, she called the female guard who was waiting at the door.
Claire, could you call the supervisor, Camille, please? Tell her it's urgent.
The doctor asked, trying to maintain a professional tone, but the urgency in her voice was evident. Claire, the guard, frowned, but didn't question it. She just nodded and left quickly to fetch the supervisor. While they waited, Beatrice turned to the patient, a young woman called Lillian, who was sitting on the gurney, restless and tapping her fingers nervously. Her eyes showed the same confusion that Beatrice felt.
Doctor, I don't understand much, but that thing on the screen, is that really what I think it is? Am I really...
Lillian stuttered, unable to finish her sentence. Beatrice took a deep breath and confirmed it.
Pregnant?
That's
yes,
good storytelling.
Lillian, you're pregnant. But the question is, how? How did you get pregnant? Here, in this place. Please explain yourself. I need to understand how it happened.
Lillian looked down at the floor, trying to avoid the question. Her discomfort only increased when the door opened, and Camille, the supervisor, entered the room with a serious expression and firm steps. Camille was confused to see the expression of discomfort on the doctor's face.
What is it, Beatrice? What's going on?
Camille asked, looking from Beatrice to Lillian, trying to understand the seriousness of the situation. Beatrice pointed to the ultrasound monitor, which was still on.
Here, look,
she said, already anticipating the supervisor's reaction. Camille approached, and her eyes widened when she saw the image.
No, it can't be. She's pregnant? But how? She's the 3rd this week.
Camille asked, incredulous. The doctor and the supervisor exchanged glances that reflected the same doubt and confusion.
This is serious, Camille,
Beatrice replied, crossing her arms.
We can't just sit here and do nothing. Something is going on.
Camille ran a hand over her tired face, clearly trying to process the information, while she read Lillian's medical records.
You cannot connect properly with a woman physically unless you are connecting with her emotionally. You may feel good, my brother, but she don't. You always want a woman to be in a place where she feels connected to you emotionally. If she's not connecting with you emotionally, something deeper is going on with her. Maybe now she's bitter. So now you're resentful, you're bitter, you're angry because he want to talk about facts while all the while ignoring how you feel.
President Trump, what is the very first thing you do every morning?
So I don't sleep a lot. I don't say that as a badge of courage. You know, a lot of people, I don't sleep, and they maybe do. I rarely eat breakfast. It's funny, I love food, but I don't necessarily, I'm too anxious. I really enjoy life. It's crazy. I shouldn't enjoy life. I get indicted, I get impeached. Somebody said, how do you live? You know the most often question? I get two questions. Number one, I get, will they do it again? You know what that means. Very ominous. I said, they're going to try because they can't help themselves. They're bad. But we hope we're going to have them blocked, okay? The other question is, how do you do it? How do you stand up and you get impeached, you get indicted, you get this, you get convicted? Bullshit.
You live in a country where a man a porn star while his wife was pregnant and became president of the United States, where a guy transitions to become a woman, runs over two people, kills one of them, and 4 months later is named Woman of the Year. Before OJ died, he got offered millions of dollars to host a fantasy football podcast. Do you understand the L that Logan Paul took when they started posting pictures of his fiance with hundreds of different men? And it made him more popular. Aiden Ross gets cheated on by his girlfriend. He's more popular. Like, you can up so bad and nobody cares. The only thing that matters is this moment. You know what me and Elon Musk have in common? We're going to be just as dead in 300 years. How does that not liberate you?
You're not just a weirdo that doesn't want to be around a lot of people. You are literally different. Your coworkers didn't like you. Your friends didn't like you. Some of you, your parents didn't like you. And that is because you are peculiar. It's difficult sometimes to come to the realization that people don't like you for no reason. But the reason is because you are peculiar. You are different. You are set apart. God has made you different than other people. And this is the reason why you've always been talked about and lied on and cheated on and made to feel less than. This has been the plot of the enemy all along, to knock you off of your high horse, right? The high horse that God has placed you on, because God has called you anointed, appointed, chosen. God has said every good thing about you, but the enemy has come with the opposite of the truth of who you are. The enemy has sent every single person to try and take you out. Your coworkers, your family, your friends. He has used every single person close to you and every situation imaginable that could possibly take you out for good. But he's a liar and the truth is not in him. This is the reason why he has not prevailed. You must understand that God says that you are a peculiar people. You are a chosen people. You are different. You are unique. You are not like everybody else. You are abnormally normal. Glory to God, because the Spirit of God has breathed a different type of anointing in you. This is the reason why you've always been a loner. This is why you haven't had many friends. This is even the reason why you don't like to be around a lot of people. Listen, you are sensitive spiritually, and you cannot just take on everybody's spirit. You need time to be able to process the things in your environment, to be able to process the people around you. This is why you have never had a bunch of friends, because you don't do well with others who cannot see who you are. It's not that you have to be seen, but you cannot be in a position where people don't at least get it a little bit. You are different, you are chosen, you are unique. And this is why when you connect with someone, you connect with them because they see you without you having to say who you are. God has made you different. God has made you special. You are peculiar. You are different. You are an anomaly. You are something otherworldly. God didn't make you like everyone else. Listen, there is such a thing as being chosen. There is such a thing as being different. There is such a thing as being unique, and that is you. The sooner you can embrace your difference, embrace your uniqueness, embrace your strangeness, your oddness, the quicker you will be able
Your
to walk through
weirdness.
this life boldly and unfazed. Because what you must understand is that the reason that you cannot connect with everyone is because you have a work to do. Your job is different than the average person. It's unique, just as God made you. He made you unique and peculiar. And how do you know that you're peculiar? Because you wake up in the middle of the night and something just hits your spirit and you go, I don't know what's going on, but I need to get up and pray. I don't know what I'm feeling, but something doesn't feel right in my spirit. All week long, something just feels off, but I know that something is happening, but I can't see what it is because your spirit has picked up on what is going on in the spirit realm. You're different. This is why you have dreams and visions that are not just regular dreams and visions. This is why God will reveal something to you that's going to happen in years. This is the reason why you cannot have anybody in your house. This is the reason why you cannot be connected to any type of spirit. You must understand exactly who you are. You're not just a weirdo that doesn't want to be around a lot of people. You are literally different. You are literally different. You are made uniquely. You can't do what everyone else does. You can't take in everything that everyone takes in. You can't watch anything that everyone watches. You are different. You are so different. You have an understanding that things that you know, if you were to explain to people, they would think that you're crazy. They would think that you're weird and strange. But this is why God will reveal things to you and tell you, shh, be quiet. This is the reason why God will reveal a prophetic word to you and say, shh, not yet. Don't reveal it yet. This is the reason why God will show you your future and will say, don't share it with anyone. Wait until it happens. Wait until the time. God whispers in your ear. He gives you unique instructions. Those of you who don't feel that you can relate to this message and you don't feel that you're chosen, I'm here to tell you that you are. I'm here to tell you that you are. God said you are a chosen people. You are anointed. You are peculiar. You are set apart for me. That means if you are in God, you are chosen. You are peculiar. Hallelujah. He has set you apart for himself. You are his own special vessel, and nothing will ever change that. You are a different type of vessel. God has called you unto himself. Be not ashamed of your peculiarness. Be not ashamed of your difference. Be not ashamed of the fact that you are not like everyone else. You are not a trend. You are not a clone. You are not a twin to anyone in the sense of being peculiar. You are God's own person. God said, before I formed you, I knew you. Before I formed you, before I put you together, before I molded you and made you and fashioned you, I knew you. You belong to him. And guess what? He belongs to you. God belongs to you. Ask what you will. Make your petition known to heaven. As long as your heart is turned towards the Lord, watch him answer. Watch him answer. And watch him do exactly what he said he was going to do, and watch him fulfill the desires of your heart, because you are his.
When a man does something for a woman in the past, okay, in the survival mode where women are dependent on men for survival, any activity that a man does for a woman that she can't do for herself will produce high estrogen. Okay, if she's hungry, she has no money, you feed her, she wants to have sex with you. Meaning she feels so grateful and so much love that she enjoys being with you. Her hormones are up, so her body wants it. Okay, so that's just reality. That's tested out. That's science. When a woman's estrogen levels, like before ovulation, if she's still young enough to not be stressed out, at ovulation, her estrogen levels will have doubled. And 3 days before that, she'll start having her testosterone, which is desire for sex. One symptom of testosterone is desire for sex. Her desire for sex will increase as her estrogen levels go to these high levels. But the difference between a woman and well, what's unique about women is they don't have to wait to ovulation for their estrogen levels to go so high. An animal does. A female animal can only have those high estrogen at the time of ovulation. But you can take her on a romantic date 10 days before.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. As you know, we have been fighting to protect the constitutional right to free speech for the more than 170 million Americans who use our platform
This is a
every
TikTok
day
CEO.
to connect, create, discover, and achieve their dreams. On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. As we've said, TikTok is a place where people can create communities, discover new interests, and express themselves, including over 7 million American businesses who earn a living and gain new customers using our platform. We are grateful and pleased to have the support of a president who truly understands our platform, one who has used TikTok to express his own thoughts and perspectives, connecting with the world and generating more than 60 billion views of his content in the process. To all American users, thank you for making our TikTok community such a rich and vibrant space, for surprising and delighting us every day. Rest assured, we will do everything in our power to ensure our platform thrives as your online home for limitless creativity and discovery, as well as a source of inspiration and joy for years to come. Thank you. More to come.
If I woke up tomorrow and I had absolutely 0 followers and I wanted to grow my audience and get back to making $200,000-$300,000 a year from social media alone, here are the 4 tips that I would use. And before y'all sit here and talk about what makes you qualified and who are you, listen, 4 or 5 years ago, I started making TikTok and IG Reels. When I had 0 followers, I had $0. I am well over 3 million followers on all platforms. And I'm bringing in roughly $300,000-$400,000 a year on these platforms. And here are the 4 tips that I personally would use if I had to start over tomorrow. The number one thing that I would do is find my niche, find my audience. And I know this sounds so cliche, but it is pivotal for making money on social media. I would find about 3 or 4 things that I'm passionate about or educated on. It could be the thing that you are most afraid of talking about, the thing that makes you the most vulnerable. I found my niche talking about prison, which led to me then talking about dating, which then led to me talking about hygiene. I soon realized my audience is young men who come from similar backgrounds as myself, and we didn't have father figures to teach us about hygiene, dating, skincare. We didn't have this, and that's where I found my niche. But I only found it because I was authentic and not afraid to talk about the shit that I've been through. This is how brands will then find you and then pay you. Fuck the views. It's not about that. Brands pay big bucks to the influencers who have the most engagement in their fields. Mine just so happened to be hygiene and skincare. Leads me to my second point. Engagement is way more important than followers. Posting times, hashtags, music choices, all of that shit is bogus. I'm gonna burn out trying to keep up with all of those. The only thing the algorithm cares about is engagement. That's it. That's likes, comments, shares, saves. Build your engagement through consistency, commenting, and controversy. You were to go look at my comment section right now, you're just gonna see people arguing with each other, sometimes arguing with me. And it's fine with me if you don't agree with my hot topics, but guess what? The more they comment and go back and forth with each other, it builds engagement. Now, I'm not recommending that you just go out here and just start throwing out hot topics just for the fun of it. It's something that you're passionate about. Be okay with standing on your opinion, no matter how controversial it may be. And lastly, actually engage with your people. Don't ever get to a level where you think you're too big to respond to your comments. Those are the people that are gonna keep commenting and coming back and argue on your behalf because they know your story, they know what you've been through. Those are your day one followers. Engage with them. 3, you're gonna diversify your platform. The problem is most people, y'all give all of y'all energy to just one platform, and there's money on all of them. Because imagine if you woke up tomorrow and the platform you done gave all of your energy to got banned. You'd be shit out of luck. I'd make one video and I post it to all platforms because you never know. A video that did 10K on IG went and did 10 million on YouTube. Then lastly, when you do build that solid platform, you do build that solid niche, you're gonna set your price. Major mistake I see influencers doing when they start getting a little bit of followers is they start doing these little $50 promos and posting for $200, $300. Is that all your audience is worth to you? Is that all your hard work worth to you? $200, $300? I want you to think about how much a brand pays to be on a commercial for 30 seconds on TV. Let me tell you, hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions. So now I want you to start treating your platforms as if you are a TV network. The brands that reach out to you want your audience and they have the money to do it. I've built myself now that I won't post for less than $15,000, $20,000. I have set my price and I'm standing on it. But I hope these tips help you, man, go and build like a multi-million-dollar social media platform. Peace.
See, it was all good when it was all good, but now a bitch is getting aware. I'm too aware. This little Redbook app has me too aware. And I can't go back once I start knowing shit. Our government, quite frankly, does not fuck with us. And we knew this. We knew this. I knew this, you knew this. But being on the Redbook app is putting it into visual perspective. It's putting it into visual perspective. Do you see how the Chinese are living, guys? America is considered the leader of the world stage, yet we have one of the most highest homelessness population rates compared to other underdeveloped countries. Do y'all remember a few years back when there were so many videos of Chinese people having to live in storage container units because of the homelessness or because of the population? Yeah, I'm here to let you know that the homelessness rate in China is 0.18%. 0.18%, and their population is 1.4 billion people. Here in America, our population is 32 million, and we have a homelessness rate of 2.04. 2.04. That's roughly about 700,000 people. America is the only developed country in the world that does not provide some form of universal health care. In China, 95% of its population is covered by basic health insurance. Their health insurance is provided through government-supported or mandated health insurance policies and plans. Here in America, majority of our health care comes through private sectors, meaning a lot of us have to pay a premium. We have to pay out of pocket. In China, they don't have annual property tax. So once you pay off your mortgage, that's it. It's yours. The land is yours. It's yours. You lose your job today, you have a place to stay. In America, and we're still dealing with a housing crisis that our government doesn't want to do anything about, but they want to take away TikTok because through TikTok, we find out how much they're fucking us over. The Chinese government has more policies put into place to make their residents become owners rather than keep them as long-term, lifelong renters. Whether it's vehicles or housing, they have more of the chance, more of the possibility of being an owner than the average American. And y'all heard how I said 95% of their population is covered under basic health insurance, right? 95% of 1.4 billion people. Here in America, we have 8% of our population that does not have health insurance. In numbers, that is 2.56 million people who do not have health insurance here in America. But we're paying taxes though. Y'all are increasing taxes. Yet we have 2.56 million people walking around without basic health insurance. And don't get me started on their goods. Don't get me started on their goods. Have y'all seen their electric cars that are under $10,000. Some of them are under $10,000. And they're outperforming any luxury car that we have here in the United States. I just saw a car get fully submerged in water and still performing. Yet we have this fucking eyesore of a fucking tank called the Cybertruck that's catching on fucking fire if it gets overheated. This shit is making me too hot. It's making me too hot. Like, I'm dead ass. Luigi's game about to be multiplayer. Because what the actual fuck are you guys doing over there? Y'all forgot that y'all work for us? Why don't we have universal health care yet? We are the only developed country in the world that doesn't have some sort of fucking universal health care. Why? We are really a third world country. Bitch. We don't even have the Gucci belt. It's Fucci. It's Fucci. Everything is fake. Everything is fucking fake. We have a housing crisis. We can't afford groceries. Our kids are getting shot up in schools. You're taking away the autonomy.
So much chaos in America,
you force
man.
us to fucking have kids because you want to make sure that your future companies have fucking workers. Y'all literally, and now y'all want to take away TikTok. I hope TikTok is the 13th reason. I hope it's the fucking 13th reason and these motherfuckers start to revolt on y'all asses. I really do hope that Luigi's game becomes multiplayer. Dead ass.
If you don't have an audience right now and you're putting shit out there, just look at it as you're building the library that needs to be there whenever the day comes that you are discovered.
True that.
So
All right.
imagine if you had an opportunity in like 5 minutes and it was like, yo, all of the most famous, most followed people in the world are about to shout you out. And this is your moment. This is your opportunity. Every single person is going to run to your profile right now. Would you feel confident with what you have there? Or would you feel like, fuck, I'm not ready. I need to get my shit together. Like, hold on, not 5 minutes. Give me like 5 months. I got to get more
ready.
stuff out here. Knowing that, it's a good thing that opportunity hasn't happened for you right now. It hasn't happened yet. So just look at right now as prep work. You got to prepare for when that moment comes.
Here's some facts that will save your life. Most human traffickers are
Oh,
actually
I
women.
didn't know that.
In most human trafficking, while men are the ones who dominate the leadership networks, it's actually women who are often the ones recruiting and deceiving victims. They often exploit the women trust women mentality to lower defenses. This also goes for children as well. If anything, this goes for everyone as well, including men, because women are more likely to be perceived as trustworthy. They are often more effective at abducting people because their presence feels less threatening. The very scary thing about this is that not many people know this. They assume that the majority of human traffickers are operated by men, but in reality, women actually dominate this. But it's not because these women are predatory. It's also important to note as well that many of these women were once victims themselves, broken and coerced into becoming predators. And because being a woman itself is usually connoted to being nurturing and being motherly, children fall for this trap. That trust becomes a weapon, and the cycle feeds itself, ultimately turning vulnerability into a trap from which few can escape. It should always go without saying as well that many victims of human trafficking, from all forms of human trafficking, only 5% or less ever make it out alive or ever seen again. This is why it is so important that you, number 1, stay with others, avoid being alone or isolated. Number 2, refuse help at all cost. Refuse any rides or favors from strangers. Number 3, you must be very quick to move to safety. Head to a well-lit and populated area if you're ever approached or you feel that something is off. Specifically run towards crowds or security where you can be heard. Number 4, watch your drinks and know your exits. Always stay alert. Cause a scene if you're ever confronted. Remember to scream or yell to draw attention. And number 6 is absolute last resort, but call for help. Use your phone to alert someone or call emergency services immediately. These steps might sound cliche, but when you really think about it, these can save your life. Stay safe.
So I just saw this post from a buddy of mine where he says, whatever you do, if you make content about it, you will outperform the competition. And I think this is one of the most important ideas of content creation from any kind of professional standpoint, right? If you're running a brand, if you have a services business, if you have a product business, consistently just creating content and putting it out there can dramatically change the trajectory of your business and put you so far and away above anyone else who's doing the same thing as you, even if they're doing it better. And this doesn't mean you have to make videos every day. This can be in kind of any media. It can be a newsletter. It can be posting on LinkedIn, whatever channel you choose that kind of feels most natural. Just putting what it is that you do out there can really just create these outsized returns. And I'll tell you another story about this. I had a really interesting meeting this morning with this girl, Olivia, who runs this really cool business called the Cleary Collective. She makes these luxury silk scarves, and she started doing it earlier this year. And she does these custom designs she started doing custom designs of really unique architecture from college campuses. And she would sell to people who went there and alumni and parents, and really drove all of the traffic and interest in her business just from posting these designs as reels on Instagram. And as a byproduct of doing this over the past year and all the great designs that she's made, she's had McLaren reached out to her and said, hey, we're doing an event. Can you do a custom silk scarf for us? That then turned into a car wrap. And she has built a very, very strong and sizable business just within a year. And it is super impressive to watch that. And this is, someone who I know. I follow some of her content, and that's just one example. And there's so many of these people kind of creating stuff, putting their designs, putting their work out there online that really just do a wonderful amount for them. So I don't know, just a reminder. I think about content and how it's changed my life all the time. And so, yeah, just do it.
China's high-speed rail is now faster than
really?
And Elon Musk says this is a super big deal. It's crazy. China cracked the code to high-speed travel with this new breakthrough, magnetic levitation, using giant magnets to levitate the train above its tracks and a low vacuum tube to eliminate drag. China's bullet train can reach 1,000 kilometers per hour, which is faster than most airplanes, and their passengers can enjoy stable 5G internet during the ride. But this is off Elon Musk, because 10 years ago he proposed this exact same idea with the Hyperloop, a frictionless pod that blazes through a high-speed tube, getting you anywhere in the country in record time. But when he went to work on this with the Boring Company, they couldn't make it happen, so he pivoted the Boring Company to build tunnels for cars instead. However, one country stuck with the Hyperloop idea, China, and 10 years later they actually did it, which is good news for everyone, because it'll light a fire under Elon in the US, which is currently bogged down in regulation. For example, California's high-speed rail has only completed 119 miles of construction after 15 years. That's 8 miles of construction per year. So expect Elon and Doge to slash regulations around interstate travel and start cooking on a high-speed rail, because otherwise China's gonna leave us in the dust.
If you see someone doing these rapid, jerky movements, you're seeing mostly fear or stress in their body.
Comfort.
Yeah.
How does that manifest? Is that just like being like physically comfortable? What is that?
Yeah, it would be physical comfort. So one of the challenges I give to people is for your first week, the only thing I want you to focus on, I'm not going to give you this long list to go look into your phone and have to read it before every meeting. The one thing I want you to focus on this week is, can you move slower than the other people in the room? That's it. Just adjusting the speed limit on your body. So if you were standing in a swimming pool, how fast would your arms and legs move if you were underwater? And make that the speed limit for this entire week. That's all I want you to focus on. And that makes so many changes in people's mind, because we change our bodies and we change how our emotions are feeling. And there's one thing that fear does, it speeds our body up. So if you see someone doing these rapid, jerky movements, you're seeing mostly fear or stress.
We've come to the end of the video. I hope you learned something new. Niggy's videos were very great. I enjoyed it and it was nice. Like, actually, come to think of it, I enjoyed it very much, and I hope you did as well. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. Adios amigos, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.